Okay, so we're back with Honors Algebra 2, Chapter 6, solving radical equations. So what we're going to do here is, if this is the third root, we are going to raise each side to the third power. So that's going to give me the 4x plus 5 just is going to pop out. And you're going to have 1/2 to the third power. Well, remember, 1/2 to the third power is 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2, which is 1/8. So 4x plus 5 is going to equal 1/8. We are then going to simply add the 5 over. Subtract the 5 over. And you're going to get 4x equals a negative 4 7/8. Well, wouldn't it be nice if we had that in improper form? So we're going to get that in improper form. How do you do that? You take 4 times 8, which is 32, plus your 7, which is going to give us 4x equals a negative 39/8. Then, you could divide by 4, but to make my life easier, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of 1/4. Right? So that's going to give me x equals, because everything cancels out on the left, but the x, negative 39/32. There you go. Moving on. Example 11, exponents. Well, always, we probably want to isolate the variable. So to isolate the variable, you're going to divide by 4. And 108 divided by 4 is going to give you us 27. So you're going to get x to the 3/2 equals 27. Now to remove the 3/2, you're going to take each side to the 2/3. You can raise each side to the 2/3 power. The reason you did that is so this cancels out and it gives you just an x to the first power. Now, remember, this is your root. This is your exponent. There it is, root and exponent. So you're going to have the cubed root of 27 squared. So it's going to be x equals 3 squared. X will be 9. There you go. X will be 9. If we check it, this will be 4 times 9 to the 3/2 equals 108. Well, this will be 4 times the square root of 9 cubed equals 108. Well, the square root of 9 is 3, so 4 times 3 cubed equals 108. This will be 4 times 27 equals 108. And so 108 equals 108. And it works. And good. That's how you check it. So you know. Example 12. Again, same kind of process. You're going to divide by 3. You're going to get x to the 3/2, crazy 3, sorry, equals 125. We are going to raise each side to the 2/3, because that's the reciprocal of the exponent you have. What you do to one side, have to do the other. We did that, so these cancel out. You just get an x. And then this will be the cubed root of 125 squared. Well, 125, the cubed root of 125 is what? Anybody know? Anybody know? Well, that is 5. How? Because it's going to be the cubed root. If we make this into primes, it's 5 cubed. This will be squared. This will be x equals 5 squared. So you're going to get 25 as your answer. That's what x needs to be. Next problem, come on board. All right, here you're dividing by a negative. So you divide by -2 on each side. You get x to the 3/4 equals a positive 8. You take everything to the 4/3 power. So you are going to get x equals the cubed root of 8 to the 4th power. You guys know the cubed root of 8 because 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. So the cubed root of 8 is 2 to the 4th power. 2 to the 4th power is 16. That is our answer. Pause if necessary, moving on. Now, here you can't do anything until you isolate this. So you have to isolate what's in parentheses to the 3/4 power. So let's isolate it. We're going to isolate that by adding the 1 to each side. So you're going to get x plus 2 to the 3/4 equals 8. Now you're going to raise everything to the 4/3. When you do that, these cancel, and you just have your x plus 2. And then you have the cubed root of 8 to the 4th power. Well, we just did this last question, or a question somewhere. So you're going to get x plus 2 equals the cubed root of 8 is 2 to the 4th power. So x plus 2 equals 16. Subtract the 2. X is going to equal 14. There you have it. Moving along. All right, same thing. We are going to raise this to the 2/5 power. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. That's going to give us just, x plus 3 equals the 5th root of 32 squared. Well, I hope you guys know that 32 is 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8, times 2, which is 16, times 2, which is 32. 32 to the 5th power is, 2 to the 5th power is 32. So the 5th root of 32 is just 2. You get x plus 3 equals 2 squared. X plus 3 equals 4. Subtract the 3. X equals 1. 16. Same type of problem, but you need to get your calculators out because you're going to have to raise this to the 3/5, right? To the 3/5. So you're going to get x plus 5, because these have canceled out, equals the 5th root of 243, all cubed. Well, get your calculator out, go get one, pause if you need to, because you're going to have to take the 5th root. So the 5th root of 243 is 3, because 243 equals 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So this is going to get you x plus 5 equals 3 cubed. Well, 3 cubed is 27. You're going to subtract the 5, and x is going to equal 22. Yes, it is. All right, just a couple more problems. Here, you have to isolate the x to the 1/5. So we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. And the reciprocal, remember, is a negative 3/2. So fractions multiply tops times tops, bottoms times bottoms. Those cancel. They completely canceled over here. So we have x to the 1/5 equals a positive 3. So we raise each side to the 5/1. And really, do we need that one? No, you essentially have x equals 3 to the 5th. Well, 3 to the 5th power, if you want to figure it out, which we just did last problem, is 243. 243. All right. It seems as if I am now done. All right, that ends this section. I'm going to put this on YouTube so you can follow it if you want and check it out. The sub will give you the lesson after this. Have a great day. See you in a little bit.